Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a great evening, a great day. I am excited for today's live stream because we are talking about fitness myths. I'm going to be debunking fitness myths that you have likely been believing and they might be keeping you stuck. Okay, I actually have 10 of the most common myths that I see as a fitness coach, and these are also things that I used to believe as well. So once we uncover them, let me know in the comments which ones you might be believing right now, or maybe you thought were true. And I'm going to explain what you should be doing instead. Okay, so I have 10 myths. We're going to go through them one by one. Jumping right into it, the first myth that I hear is that it's okay to do two workouts in one day if you miss one. So what I mean by that is sometimes I'll have clients who come into our program and they're really excited to start their program. They want to be consistent. We want to get our workouts in, which I really appreciate the dedication. But then sometimes life happens. Sometimes things come up and maybe you skip a workout, you were unable to get it in that day. And so usually a mentality that a lot of people have is, oh, I'll just do a workout or do two tomorrow, I'll double up tomorrow and get both workouts in so I can stay caught up. That is actually going to be doing more harm than good. And I would rather you just move that workout till next week or later in the week instead of doing two workouts in one day, because more is not always better. It's about quantity, not quality. And if you want to build muscle, you need to be recovering. And so it's really hard for your body to do that if you are doing two workouts in one day. So if you do skip a workout, it happens, learn from it, move forward, ask yourself, how can I better plan next time? And instead of doing two in one day, move it to the end of the week and you can finish it then. Okay. Now, to also kind of expand on this, you should not be able to do two workouts in one day. If you want to actually build muscle, you need to be training very hard. You need to be pushing yourself and challenging yourself. So, I don't know about you guys, but I am absolutely toast after finishing a workout. Like, you should be not be able to do another challenging workout in the same day because you should be very tired after. You should be recovering the rest of the day. So, that's myth number one. It is not okay to do two workouts in one day. Now, if you're doing cardio, that's different. Like if you're doing a weight session in the morning and then cardio at night, or cardio in the morning, weights at night, that's a little bit different. So I'm talking like two weight training sessions in one day, or maybe you're doing a weight training workout and then a gym class, or you're doing like a group fitness class and then a workout at the gym. Like you don't want to be doing two in one day, you guys. So that's myth number one. Myth number two, let me know if you guys have heard this one. I used to believe that this was true, but if you eat past 8 p.m. or 6 p.m., whatever time they say, it turns into fat. You'll gain weight if you eat late at night or past a certain time. That is definitely a myth. So don't worry about that, you guys, because what really matters is your overall caloric intake for the day. So if you're in a calorie deficit, you're still going to lose fat whether you eat at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., or 10 p.m. or later, depending on what time you're eating dinner. If you're in a calorie deficit, you're still going to lose weight no matter what time you eat. Okay, because it doesn't just magically become more calories past a certain time. So instead of worrying so much about having to eat dinner by this time or else it's going to turn into fat, just worry more about your overall caloric intake. As long as you are hitting your calories and staying consistent there, you're going to be a-okay. Now, I do recommend trying to eat dinner at a decent time because it gets a little bit uncomfortable to go to bed with a full tummy. Like if you're still really full, you're still digesting your food, it is uncomfortable to go to bed full. So I do recommend eating dinner maybe like 1 to 2 to 3 hours before you go to sleep, just so your body has time to digest. But other than that, it's not going to do anything to your fat loss progress. What really matters is your overall consistency. So you can eat dinner past 8 p.m., 6 p.m. I promise you'll be okay. Just know you might feel a little bit bloated if you go to bed with full tummy. Okay, next myth, third one that a lot of women believe is that lifting weights makes you bulky. Surprisingly and unfortunately, there are still women who believe that this is true. And this is so far from the truth. Lifting weights does not make you bulky. If you are lifting weights and you feel like you're getting bulkier, that bulkiness is from body fat. It's not from muscle, because muscle is very hard to build. It takes years and years and years to build muscle. So you don't just walk into the gym, do a weight training workout, and then all of a sudden you've just you're jacked, like you've just built muscle overnight. I think a lot of women are acting like that is the case when one, you're not even training hard enough to build muscle in that way. And two, naturally, you don't have the same hormonal profile as men to build muscle like a man does. Okay. So don't worry about getting bulky. If you're worried about looking bulky, then worry more about your nutrition because it's your bad nutrition habits that will put you in a calorie surplus that causes fat gain, which will make you look bulky, not the weight or the muscle. So, muscle actually makes you look more toned, leaner. It adds more shape to your body. You can still be very lean, lose weight, lose fat while building muscle and lifting weights. You can still get lean without doing tons of cardio either. You can maintain a low body fat percentage lifting weights. It has to do with your nutrition and your activity. Okay, so that is myth number 3. Let me know in the comments, you guys, as well. If you have believed any of these myths before. But next one, speaking on cardio, is myth number 4. Cardio is the only way to lose fat. That is false. Cardio is a method to lose fat, but at the end of the day, if you are in a calorie deficit, you're going to lose fat. So you can actually achieve that through your diet as well. And we do a combination of both inside of our program with our clients. Sometimes we add a bit more cardio, sometimes we are dropping food, and sometimes it just depends on the person. But you can also achieve a calorie deficit through your steps just by walking more, eating a little bit less. And yes, you can actually add cardio into your routine. Now, I don't want to, what am I trying to say here? I feel like cardio is a touchy subject for some of you ladies. So you can still do cardio if you want. I'm not demonizing it. Okay. It's just that a lot of women will solely focus on cardio and they're only doing cardio to reach their physique goals, like to get lean and toned. And you actually need to build muscle and be lifting weights too to achieve that look. So it's about having the right balance of the two. I still have plenty of clients inside of our program who also do cardio. We have a lot of clients who are training for a marathon. So, yes, you can program cardio. It just needs to be intentional. You need to know why you're doing it and you need to have the right balance of weights and cardio for your goals. But you can lose fat without cardio. You do not need to be doing a bunch of cardio, if any, to lose body fat. Number 5, that brings me to myth number 5, is you can turn fat into muscle. Sometimes I'll be having conversations with ladies who are, interested in joining the program, or we're talking about their goals and they say things like, I just want to turn this fat into muscle. Or, if I don't work out consistently, my muscle is going to turn into fat. So they don't turn into each other. You can't turn fat into muscle. You can't turn muscle into fat. They're two completely different cells. They're two completely different tissues. Like they don't turn into each other. You can lose fat and build muscle. You can shrink your fat cells and you can build muscle, but you don't turn one into the other. So it's just good to know the science behind how everything works, just so you are informed and educated and you know how to actually transform your body. But you shrink your fat cells by being in a calorie deficit, and you build muscle by lifting with progressive overload and strength training. Okay. And nutrition is the foundation of all of that. So that was myth number 5. Myth number 6, we need to talk on this one for a little bit because this one's very common, that you need to do a lot of crunches or a lot of ab exercises in general to get a flat stomach. To lose belly fat or to get a flat tummy, you should be doing ab exercises. And that is not true, you guys. So you can't spot reduce fat. When you're in the gym or you're at home and you're doing your ab exercises, let's say you're doing crunches, you're doing planks, or whatever ab exercises you're doing, you're not actually targeting fat on your stomach. Is for any exercise. When you're in the gym and you're doing tricep push downs, you're doing bicep curls, you're doing whatever you're doing, you're not targeting fat in that area. Now, it's great to build muscle in that area. We need that. So you can do ab exercises to build up your core strength, but you're not actually burning the belly fat while doing ab exercises. That comes from your nutrition again, and really prioritizing that and being in a calorie deficit. No matter how many ab exercises you do, I don't care if you do ab exercises every single day. If you're following these Insta influencer fitness model people's ab routines every day on YouTube, I used to be guilty of that and do that when I first started my fitness journey. I don't care how many videos of that you do or how many ab exercises you do. You're not going to lose belly fat unless you are in a calorie deficit. So you need to focus on the things that actually do matter, which Nine times out of 10, your nutrition is the foundation of your results. So, just for reference, I do 2 ab exercises a week. Like, literally, I have 2 ab exercises. I do them once a week each. So, I don't have an ab day. I'm not training abs all the time. I don't really focus on doing ab exercises because when you're strength training in the gym and just weight training in general, it's also a core exercise. If you brace your core correctly, you're also targeting your core and strengthening your core that way. Okay. Now, myth number 7, a lot of you ladies need to hear this. And this one you're going to be happy about because myth number 7 is you have to spend hours in the gym to see results. That is not true. You do not need to spend hours in the gym to see results. You don't need to be working out 5, 6, 7 days per week. In fact, the maximum amount of workouts I will give a client is 5 days. That is it. Even if they ask for a 6-day workout plan, I'm not going to give it to them. If they say they're available every day to go to the gym 7 days per week, I'm not going to give it to them because, like I mentioned earlier, it's about quality, not quantity. And if you're training every day, 6, 7 days per week, you are not giving your body time to recover. So you actually build muscle and make progress on your rest days, on your recovery days. So the more exercises you do, the more workouts you do, the longer in the gym, that is not a flex. In fact, usually if I see someone saying, oh, I work out for 2 hours a day, I'm in the gym 6 days per week, I know that they're probably a beginner in their fitness journey. They probably are still learning. They don't really know a lot. Maybe they've just started recently. That's how I can tell someone is still in the beginning stages and they've got a lot of growth to do and they don't really know the right way to get lean and build muscle. And I'm not judging you if you do that because I used to be that person. I literally used to do 6 workouts per week. I was crazy. I was doing HIIT, cardio, 10,000 steps per day, all of these things. And I thought the more workouts I did, the better. But oftentimes it's the exact opposite. If you actually pull back, you focus more on the quality of your workouts, having actual rest and recovery days, you're going to go a lot further versus you just burning yourself out and trying to work out every single day and being in the gym for like 2 to 3 hours. You don't need to be in the gym for that long. In fact, your workouts can be 30 minutes long, 45 minutes long, maybe 60 minutes max. And that's probably including like warm up too. Your workouts should not be lasting that long. You should not be doing 10, 11, 12 exercises in a workout because when you have so much going on, you're not actually pushing yourself hard enough to the level that you need to build muscle. So take it back a few notches and maybe just do like even one of my leg days that I had programmed for me from my coach, it was 3 exercises. Literally just 3 exercises on my leg day. And I work out 4 times per week. I have 3 full rest days. Usually my exercises are 4 to 5 exercises long, and that is it. Okay. It's quality over quantity. Sometimes less is more. Okay, so that brings me to myth number 8 is that women should lift light weights and do high reps to tone up. Maybe you have heard this before too, but toning up or toning a muscle doesn't exist. You cannot tone a muscle. You can only build a muscle or you can shrink a muscle. So toning isn't actually a thing. Like when you say you want to tone or you want to tone your legs or whatever, what you really mean is you want to build muscle in that area and you want to lose body fat. So when we're doing high reps and light weight, that's more for like muscle endurance, not actually for muscle hypertrophy. So the studies show us and the science shows us that usually around 8 to 12 reps is a good range to be in. Now, everyone's different. That doesn't work for everyone. What we really want to shoot for in our workouts is we're hitting a certain RPE. So you want to make sure that you are pushing yourself with the challenging weights. You have good form, tempo. You're focusing on controlling the movement and actually applying progressive overload over time. That is what's more important. And so when we are viewing it this way, like we're applying progressive overload, we're using a challenging weight, usually doing, high reps with a very light weight, like you're doing 10 pounds or 5 pounds, that's not actually challenging yourself. So you can probably lift a lot heavier, especially if you're doing like lower body days. Your lower body is always going to be stronger than your upper body. So you could actually be leaving a lot of progress on the table if you are doing light weights, high reps for everything. Now, there's a time and a place for that. There's not, like there's not a time where you will never use this. I will definitely program lighter weights and higher reps, but it depends on the exercise. It depends on, is this our warm up exercise? Is it more of a burnout at the end? So there is a time and a place for it, but you have to be intentional with it, not just throwing it in there to feel like, oh, I'm just toning. So I'm going to do high reps and lower weight. And maybe you feel like, well, I feel the burn when I do that. Just because you feel a burn when you're lifting weights, it doesn't mean that you're actually building muscle. That burn doesn't always equate to muscle growth. You're feeling the lactic acid buildup, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are building muscle. Okay, so make sure that you guys are actually training with an intention and not just trying to feel the burn. You need to be tracking and logging your workouts and training with progressive overload as well. So, myth number 9, this is also something a lot of you ladies need to hear. If you skip a workout or have a bad day, you'll lose all of your progress. I am pleased to tell you that this is definitely not true. This is a myth. If you skip a workout, or if you do end up having a bad day or even a bad couple of days, you don't just lose your progress like that. Just like doing one workout or having one healthy meal or hitting your macros one time doesn't mean that you reach your goal. If you have a bad day, it doesn't mean that you lose your progress. It takes time to lose body fat and build muscle, and it also takes time to gain body fat and lose muscle too. So you just want to make sure that you're staying consistent. You're not perfect, but you don't have to let one bad day or one bad weekend or one bad week even derail you and feel like I just lost all my progress. What's the point in trying? It actually takes quite some time to start losing muscle. So you don't just lose muscle like instantly the next day. It probably, like, for you to actually start losing muscle, it would take about 2 to 3 weeks of like no workouts at all, like no protein, you're eating like crap and you're not working out at all for 2 to 3 weeks straight. After that, then you would start to lose muscle. So you don't just automatically lose muscle after one day or 2 days. So you're kind of just stressing yourself out for no reason, and you're beating yourself up for no reason either, because it takes time to lose your progress, just like it takes time to build your progress. Now, I still think that we should do some reflection. If you find that you're constantly falling off track, you're constantly skipping, a day of workouts, or maybe each weekend you're falling off, that's something to look into, of asking, well, why can't I stay consistent? What am I really struggling with? But just know that you're never going to be perfect, and there's no reason to beat yourself up or feel like you lost all of your progress just because you missed one workout. Okay, it does not work that way. Myth number 10. Myth number 10 is you have to eat protein within 30 minutes of working out. This is a myth, you guys. Maybe you've heard of the anabolic window. So you have to eat protein within 30 minutes after your workout. Like, you have 30 minutes to eat. That myth has been debunked. What really matters is your overall protein goal in the entire day. So as long as you're hitting your protein goal throughout the entire day, you don't have to rush home to eat protein within that 30-minute window. As long as you're hitting your overall protein, that is truly what matters. Now, I do recommend eating a high protein meal after your workouts anyways, because you're probably going to be hungry and you just finished a hard workout. So you probably want a big meal. And I also recommend evenly distributing your protein and your meals throughout the day, just so you're not restricting for hours and then you're binging at night trying to finish all of your calories. It's just best to like evenly spread out your meals so you're consistently fueling your body throughout the day. And what you can do too, if you struggle to hit your protein goal, take your protein goal. Let's say you have I'm not good at math. Let's say you have 125 grams of protein, and let's say you want to have 5 meals or 4 meals. You would take your protein goal, divide it by 4, and then you would aim to have that amount of protein in each meal. And you want to evenly spread those out throughout the day. So this way, it's also giving your body 4 to 5 times for that muscle protein synthesis to occur to help you recover. And this is just a side note, doesn't really have to do with this myth, but actually, this is going to be a bonus myth that I just thought about. We're going to talk about muscle soreness, because I was just thinking about that when I was talking about spreading out your protein goals. So when you're really sore, you might hear like, oh, just stretch more, stretch more. Like, yes, stretching can help, but what a lot of people don't talk about is hitting your protein goal, like prioritizing your nutrition. Protein is what actually helps you recover and build muscle after your workouts. So, yes, you can stretch, you can foam roll, you can do all the things, but if your nutrition is slacking, if you're under eating, you're not tracking your macros, you're eating like crap, you're not hitting a protein goal, your body's going to struggle to recover from your workouts and you are going to feel more sore. Which brings me to myth number 11, the bonus myth, that you need to be sore after your workouts or else it didn't work, or else you didn't have a good workout. This is a myth, you guys. You're not going to be sore after every workout. And if you are sore, extremely sore after every single workout every week, that's probably a sign that you are not recovering. So I would actually be concerned if you're sore all the time, where it's really affecting your ability to push harder in your workout. Like you're just in so much pain, it hurts to walk, to sit down, to stand up. That's not a good sign. So I know you might feel excited, like, yes, I'm super sore. Like it feels motivating, like you push really hard. And I like that too. Like we all like that soreness feeling after you feel like accomplished. And it's fine to be sore here and there. I'm just saying, like, you don't need to be sore after every workout for it to be a good one. I have plenty of times where I finish a workout and I'm not sore at all. Like I literally feel nothing the next day and I'm totally fine. That doesn't mean that I didn't make progress. It doesn't mean that that workout wasn't working. What really matters is that you are applying progressive overload over time. You are getting stronger over time and you're consistent with your nutrition. So don't worry about soreness or sweating or burning calories. Like those are all myths as well. None of that stuff matters. What you need to focus on is your macros, your managing your stress. That's something that a lot of people don't talk about either, and just overall trying to be as consistent as possible. Okay, so I hope that this live stream was helpful and informative for you, valuable. Let me know in the comments which myths you guys have struggled with, if you have believed any of these. But I will catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you another time.